or like team fight oriented build, because in this game I would say you might need it. Like that Rolling Thunder to catch, for example, the puck. I honestly don't feel like they have too much on the puck. Yeah, Ice Path is kind of good on puck against puck because you can bait that phase shift, but eventually phase shift is long enough that you can just blink out of it inside while you're inside the phase shift, right?
Yeah, Laurel's gonna catch Zephyr, trying to set up the ward. Nice little sneaky move there. He hands it back to Carl. Carl says, "No, I'm putting it right here. I don't care. Get that out of my inventory." There he goes.
I am very surprised by the lack of Storm, though. I'm really curious about why.
Yo, uncontested again, right?
Yeah, that's very surprising to me.
I mean,
I don't know if BetBoom just, because this to me was the BetBoom Storm game, right? So if maybe they just don't value it as much, maybe they saw Leshrac as being a strong counter.
If the Hawk thinks they can get first blood, he'll take Soul Assumption. Otherwise, usually he won't touch it.
That's true, that's true.
We'll see.
He goes for Grave Chill level 1 otherwise, right?
It's the best farming ability for sure. Here they go.
Okay, he thinks they can get first blood. He went for Soul Assumption. Let's see if it works out. Gabby, oh my god. So much damage, but Gabby gets away. Noticed. Not enough damage.
Nope, not the second time.
It's going to be the help from the Hawk instead that gets the first
blood. He's got another one.
Gabby.
Wait, man.
Another one for Cuckoo. Force Major, though, quite low as well. Has the God's Rebuke, but not enough time to use it anyway. As they lose 2 for 1. But the Hawk getting the first blood's kind of value. However, that's a third kill here for T1. That's going to be a huge start. Beautiful split earth here from Carl. And that should be the third kill for T1. So Neko accepting his death, walking around, crawling, trying to get a high five before he dies, as Carl finishes him off.
Yeah, I mean, the kill's really nice onto Carl, right? Let me just catch up on who gets kills. Carl with 2 now, involved in all 3, but first blood over to the Hawk. Who takes this incredibly strong Soul Assumption level 1. It's a 4-second cooldown at all levels. The mana cost is extreme, which is why this isn't really so much a viable hero as a support, you know, or really maxing it. But for these first blood plays, especially with all the damage on Viper, on a Mars, who I think collects 3 there on the God's Rebuke, yeah, that's a big kill there for the Visage. Ooh, Carl missed uphill. Oof, that is... I mean, that just always is unlucky. Yeah, Carl, nothing much you could do there, but just off the high five that one. Rolled a little bit too low on the auto attack.
Now we'll see how these lanes go. I think these lanes are particularly important for BetBoom, particularly that bottom lane. How much do you think the Viper can nullify the Spectre here, Richie?
Quite a bit, honestly. I think Whiteman's got a pretty easy matchup here versus Force Major. And luckily, the Jakiro here is overall fairly strong. But even noticed, this Viper hero can put up a lot of problems here for some mid-range. And this is the problem with Whiteman. He's got basically nothing else to offer. He's going to give it a second here. Dual Breath, 5 stacks of the Poison Tack. Level 1, not enough actually to kill the Spectre, but it will force all the regen here that Whiteman's got.
So you know the real... I like this, and let me add to it, which is the real reason why Jakiro is weak against Viper is not even due to the matchup, is the playstyle you need to beat an off-lane Viper. An off-lane Viper is very much a black or white kind of lane, where either you destroy it or you get destroyed. If you're playing Lifestealer or Juggernaut, for example, you think, oh, that's an easy lane against Viper. It is if you weren't at them. So you combine these heroes with, say, heroes like Lich or Shaman, even something like a Rubik, Venge, with kill potential, they're great. Jakiro... he's not so much kill potential as much as he harasses you until you hopefully die, right? And that's one of the problems he has. There's no 100 to 0ing the Viper, because even if you commit 2 dual breaths, it's just a bunch of DOT. And Spectre's also not a good hero against Viper. So we're not going to see much coverage for Gabby here.
Yep, as once again, they're just making this play pretty constantly. I'm surprised they're putting a lot of effort into it now. I'm not sure if offlane Vipers also are going to, especially versus a Spectre, right? I don't know if they're going to go for the second point and poison attack early, but that is usually like, the big power spike, so to speak, in lane, where I think the damage just literally doubles, doesn't it? Yeah, it's so good.
I think you do, especially with the Mars, because you have so much kill potential. Like, there is a point to make Nether Toxin, but early on, Dispersion is nothing, right?
Oh, here they go again. It's not quite level 3, but with the Spear this time, Avo, I don't think they're going to need it for Gabby.
He actually messed up that Spectral Dagger. No longer can he go in the trees, trying to get the kill on Force Major before he dies, but he died without being able to do anything.
Yep. And with Winter Wyvern being quite a strong laner, 10-second duration now.
Better laner, yeah.
Yes, a better laner in general. Seneko is able to kind of just bully away Cuckoo and Zephyr. It's not enough to, like, for example, stop all the regen or something like that. Cuckoo is still quite tanky, but it does allow Dahawk to reestablish equilibrium in his favor, right? They just outrange this lane by way too much.
Yeah.
So Dahawk doing very nicely as far as his CS, and more importantly for a Visage, his XP goes.
I agree. Dahawk, honestly, since he's up against this Pango Io, like what I suggested earlier, that was also weak lane, Io Sanking, right? Pango Io is kind of similar. Like, you just, okay, I can always spam Swashbuckle. In fact, in this lane is better In the ideal lane, they go for shield crash. Unfortunately, you're up against 2 range, so not really an option.
Not amazing. He did take it level 1, of course, but then the next 2 points into the swashbuckle. 50% status resist, damage resist as on top of the infused raindrops, but Cuckoo's still taking a lot of magic damage here.
It's just tough. You're not a good laner as Pango in the offlane. You recover nicely, and you still get good last hits, remind you. You're not going to get kicked out of lane, but you're not bullying the
And let's talk about bad laners and tough times, as Cuckoo, he'll heal up, no worries. Fortune denies now make that unnoticed against Gabby, who is up to 7 CS of his own.
One of the issues of Spectre as well as
They might kill him.
No, again, Spectral Dagger used.
He's dead.
That's only going to slow him more. We don't even need Nether Toxin. Good spear.
Yeah. And Jakiro, I mean, he's trying Whitemon
What
his
does
best. He pulls the wave and makes sure at least when Spectre TP's back with full HP and mana, she's got a wave under tower. I mean...
That's it. That's what you can do, honestly. There's really no better play. As Jakiro, you do nothing in this lane.
Reblocks the camp. That's big, though.
He does
reblock that camp.
Spectre as well, one of the issues that you have in these kind of weird lanes is that you're not a fast jungle farmer. Like, say, TB, for example, you go to the jungle at level 4, you're fine. Gabby, he has to just make something out of this lane.
A dagger is so mana intensive, right? Which is why you're going to see this Ring of Bazzi, right? Especially early, which helps your Jakiro out a little bit. But again, just having the stun in this lane, even against the level 2, dual breath versus notice, it's so tough. Now he does have the point in Nether Toxin, as well as the urn. So things are going to get mighty snowbally in this lane if T1 cannot turn it around.
Yep. They might even consider killing Whitemon if he oversteps his boundaries, right? Because, again, this Jakiro does nothing. The dual breath, honestly, almost hurts him more than it does the Viper with a corrosive skin, right? Because the ticks constantly reapply as long as you're in vision.
Indeed. And mid lane here, we have Laurel and Carl, both now level 6. Just about even here in terms of CS. Carl with a little bit of a deny advantage, certainly. But nothing too major, as Carl does go 1-2-2, so not quite the lane domination build. Does threaten to take the tower here if Laurel's gone from the lane for too long.
We'll see the mid lane, because that's a lane that at least T1 could be playing around. And one of the strengths that Leshrac has against the puck is the playstyle once again, right? Lesh wants to stay in the mid lane as much as possible, get his first score items.
They're going to go for it. Here's the Hawk.
They do have the Soul Assumption. It's only level 1, but apparently it's enough with the Grave Chill as Carl, very low. Spear for the extra bit of damage, and Carl will go down. They know what to do against them. I was about to mention this. Leshrac likes to stay in lane. He likes to just farm it, and if puck rotates, you go and destroy tower. Best solution to this? Just go to where Leshrac is. Kill him. He's kind of an easy kill.
And Pango not the worst wave clear, especially with Shield Crash doing a lot of damage, but
no, he's good. He's
not the best. He's not going to be able to take this tower, for example. The Hawk, I believe, even dispatches of the wagon before he goes, so there's no threat to the tower. Good rotation from Zephyr. He sniffed that one coming at the minute 6 power runes, but ultimately is unable to do much. Another interesting build that I'm seeing a lot more Wisps opt for these days, especially when your carry is rather slow, like a Spectre, is more points in the Spirits, even just points in general, right?
Yeah, we talked about this yesterday, I believe.
Yeah, I think
so.
Day one, right?
We've seen a lot. Yeah, we've seen a lot of the spirits built these days, just because the damage allows for you to get some kills. And like you said, if your Spectre is slow, what is the overcharge for? Are you gonna help him farm? No way.
Not really. Yeah.
Look at this. Like Gabby is now into the jungle. I said it right. Level 4 is usually the timing for most illusion carries to go jungle. The problem is Spectre. Well, yes, an illusion carry, not an early illusion carry.
No, and she doesn't come with a free Manta style basically, as the TB does or a PL. You know, it's slow. It is going to be rather slow. Force Major's just here soaking XP. He forces Whitemon to be here, which further slows Gabby's XP gain. Force Major might have gone a bit too deep here. The dagger now up to level 2 deals damage as he does push back Gabby. He wants to make sure at least Whitemon gets the kill, but with Notice rotating over level 6 on this Viper. They don't want any of that.
So Neko in trouble. The Spirits at 2 points in Spirits actually did get the kill. And Cuckoo kind of coming to his own. He's now level 6. He has threat kill potential. And the most important part for a Pango when it comes to pushing tower, that Orb of Corrosion. So now they can actually threaten this tier 1 a little bit. Especially because, again, Laurel does not want to rotate.
They're going to try again for Carl, but Zephyr was ready for this one. He's maxed the Edict. He can go the Explosions. In goes the Hawk with one familiar now down. Carl, though, still being chased as Cuckoo with the big rotation will nuke through Laurel. And he's even going to look for more Avo.
Yeah, Cuckoo does get the one bounce onto Notice. The second one, pushing him to the high gun. Nice job. That's how you deal with Pango. Hug the wall.
The wall is your friend. It's like 2016 again. Grab the wall. Gas pedal. You probably didn't. Yeah, that was an American thing. It's a song. Don't worry about it, Soneko.
They have Shield Crash still, so he's dead.
Not very dead.
They were just waiting for it, right? Yeah, this Pango lane plus IO became strong once he hits level 6. You have a lot of kill potential here, and it just became the dead lane. The only thing that BetBoom could do to defend this tower would be to rotate Viper top, and then he can deal with Pango kind of nicely. But if you don't want to afford that, which is fine as well, just stop going. I mean, if you kill the Wyvern, it's not that big a deal.
Gabby might just have to TP. Ooh, he's going to try and go up the cliff. In comes the Wisp. Can they turn this?
Maybe. It's only Notice alone. Now Force Major joining them. They're going to kill Gabby first, though. Notice is getting help from the Hawk. In fact, Notice is standing his ground, turns to strength threats. He won't die, and now they're going to regret this relocate as Zephyr will be the first to die. Cuckoo now in trouble. He's out of mobility. 3 more seconds for shield crash. Infused Raindrops helping him out a bit, but not sufficiently as they do turn this, and then turned again was BetBoom.
Yeah, that's a nice tip there. It says, thank you for giving us 2 more kills. Yeah, just impossible, right? Yes, you get this free pathing from the Spectral Dagger, but, you know, slow to a crawl by the Viper Strike. You are going absolutely nowhere. It's so hard. You're not even level 6 on the Spectre. I was hovering over the hero level, which is not something I always use when I observe, but it was relevance there because he couldn't haunt out. And now they're going to look for Carl as Force Major up to level 6, and Carl is beaten to a pulp against the wall. Cuckoo is going in, but they even interrupt the swashbuckle as he does get 32% damage resistance, but he's currently being spit on by Noticed. He's going to be forced back, but that's the mid laner dead, Avo. He TP'd in for that.
Yeah. Able to take down the middle tower now. I feel like if you're BetBoom, and because the Pango rotated earlier, you have put no pressure top. Last strike dead means there's no pressure middle. So it's full control for BetBoom, and they're free to do whatever they want as the Hawk that is going for that drums build he loves so much.
He does. And because the Hawk is so active, he's left basically the top lane for a couple solid, maybe 2 minutes for Seneko, which is, you know, not that much in general, but for a position 5, he is swimming in gold and experience. He's going to buy a Soul Ring. He's going to get a lot of fun in this game. Soul Ring Splinter Blast is, and level 3 Splinter Blast at that, is amazing. You could tell how good this lane was because Seneko didn't even feel pressured for the points in Cold Embrace. Not even a single value point.
Yeah, that's very true, actually. He's going to go for Veil as well. Do you see this?
I mean, this is a 5. He's going to get so much farm.
Yeah, it's a curious build, the Veil. I wonder, I mean, I guess to amplify the puck, okay, they find Force Major, but I don't think this is that worth this much commitment. They didn't use the Macroplier for this. Sure, they got the kill, but more importantly, it's 4 heroes around them. I guess you have nothing else to do, so better that than nothing. As Soneko's like, guys, am I carry? No, I'm going to push this tower solo. Yeah,
Carl is at the ready to jump in. Does not have the Yule Scepter, though. In fact, he's going to think about the Sanj and Yasha first. Not going to be bothered too much here by Soneko. Oh, haha, just kidding. 10 seconds of flight. See you later, Carl.
Yep, that's one of the strengths of Soneko. He's been sapping experience like crazy. Like you said, he's farming pretty decently for being a support position 5.
He's already got the Veil on the way. He's committed.
Now we're going to see how strong this is with a puck, right? That's most likely the hero you amplify early. Maybe Noticed a little bit. It does stack with a poison attack, magic resistance reduction.
Yeah, that it does. Very good point. Very good point, right? An often overlooked aspect here of the poison attack. So you are going to absolutely blow through some heroes. Gives even more value to this first point in Soul Assumption as well from Dahak. We saw that come into clutch, right? Yeah, I mean, it's big. It's a big nuke. Cuckoo might start a fight.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know about this Carl. He went maybe a bit too far, but just hold his own in this high ground. There's the relocate used. And it saves just in time for that Winter's Curse. However, Cuckoo could be in trouble. He's been hit by a lot of DOTs, including that Vessel. But Cuckoo, oh, he'll barely be able to live in time to deny himself to neutrals as Zephyr in the backlines does get nuked. That relocate at least saved his teammate.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was so close because if you do get caught by that Winter's Curse, of course, it's going to cancel the cast animation. Like, exactly. It does indeed work like that. You can pull people out if Wisp is not affected, but he was certainly close enough in that scenario. Regardless,
he pulled him out.
Yeah. But if the curse came in before...
Oh, right, yeah.
He reloaded before the curse. Oh, okay. Carl in trouble. They're going to try and defend the Tier 1 tower. He is blown to a pulp.
Oh, my God.
I could not believe that this CP... I just don't think T1 have any business contesting that anymore.
Yeah, T1 is almost like they don't want to accept the domination here at BetBoom. They're much stronger right now. And even regardless of the team or how they like to play, they have a Viper, man. Don't fight them.
And Soneko's like, go ahead, push me up the wall.
Oh, and just TPs in front of Cuckoo. Soneko's been doing this for both games. At this point, I think it's just a joke to him.
He's blowing rings in the face as well with that Winter Wyvern tot. I mean, just expertly used. Gabby, in the meantime, Avo, he's trying to farm. He is farming, going for a Radiance.
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't want to comment on it because I didn't know if he was going to commit to it, but apparently he is going to go for the Radiance.
All I mean by that is we take a look at Soneko's swaggy plays. It's going to be a while before he's ready to fight.
Is that for the Visage? I suppose. But yeah, it'll take forever.
That's it. That's the point I mean to make. I think it's still a Spectre, probably one of the best Radiance builders in the entire game.
Yep.
It's just, again, it only exacerbates the issue that you do nothing for the first 20 minutes of the game.
It is wild.
Is the game going to last much longer than that? You're playing against BetBoom. They're up to 6K already. I mean...
And look at the Hawks build, by the way. Usually when we see a good matchup for him in the Visage, he likes to go for the Axe Rush, right? That's a very popular one. But instead, we're going to see AC, which is what he does in a bad matchup or once he wants to split push or, in this case, push for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a bit surprised by that. I think Spectre can probably deal with him. But, you know, again, I've doubted his builds before, and I've been wrong. So I'm not going to do it here.
Yep. No, I think this build is actually really good for this game because, like you said, they just put more pressure. You take advantage of the Viper's early timing. I mean, notice is going directly for the BKB, right? He's gonna disassemble a Dragonlance, get an early BKB, and there's nothing you can do against him. Soneko in the top lane, they've been in trouble once again, TPing in the face of danger. Soneko, the amount of emotional damage he's dealing every single TP is uncalculable.
Yep, and he nukes the wave before he goes. So Gabby, of course, he can tank it, but they won't have a really fast push. BetBoom, if they wanted to, could TP heroes up here and look to defend. Sure, the curse is used, but ultimately it's not gold into the pockets of T1, who have been farming pretty decently in this downtime here. Carl, during this lull, has nearly found the gold for the Yule Scepter, on top of now the Hooded Defiance he's felt pressure to go for into early. So he's going to be a lot tankier with that item, set up his own stuns potentially, you know. It's a big deal for him. But Laurel as well has been farming, very similar to last game, right? Domination in the mid lane, outplayed, outganked, whatever you want to call it. Laurel with a significant lead here, already the full Witchblade and into the BOTs next.
That BOTs is going to really solidify the oppression from BetBoom in this map, right? Once you've taken a fair amount of towers, much like last game, T1's a bit too slow. They can't do much effort. Best he can do is just try to tether this catapult, try to take tier 1 top. But I don't think it's enough to take over their jungle.
No, and Kuku, he was hoping someone would TP in. He was praying someone would TP in. Max Swashbuckle, he just got Diffusal Blade. He's like, oh, try and TP in front of me now, Soneko. See what happens.
He's forced to go for Shard, though, because he's up against the puck, which sucks, because usually he would like to just straight go for the Blink Dagger. But in this case, Shard is a necessity.
Yeah, there's really no...
Also, even against Mars, it's pretty good, right?
Oh,
because when you get Speared, you Shard in the middle of Spear, and you're safe.
Very good, very true. You just have to be careful, and because we've seen this happen before, who's behind you? If it's your Spectre behind you, you might be best tanking that one for the team.
We have seen that. That's pretty funny. I love when that happens, right?
I mean, it's unfortunate, but you know, it does happen.
Yeah, it's the opposite of the get down, Mr. President. It's the you're fucked, Mr. President. Laurel, he does have the Witchblade now. Is that going to be enough damage for Gabby?
He's got a haunt, right? So.
Yeah,
Laurel,
he's thinking
trying
about
to do the math. He's calling. Oh, he's gonna go for it.
He is. Has a Dream Coil still, trying to really maximize this. But of course, he understands if a TP comes. He just wanted to force that most likely.
He's happy with that, right? He
didn't know that though. He doesn't know he forced the TP.
No, he doesn't. But he has to respect the fact that this Lash hasn't had Yules for a while. It's got to be coming up soon. I mean, if you're going to use Waning Rift like that to silence, you're not going to have it to avoid, say, I don't know, a level 3 Ice Path. So it's for the best, as they will find BetBoom. Sorry, before it's Major, that is. He's going to be the first to experience this Diffusal Inhibit on top of that, all that Swashbuckle damage. But BetBoom, taking a page out of the C playbook, they're going to smoke and go top.
Yep. What are they going to find,
They might find this courier with a relic on it.
See, Soneko with the Veil of Discord. How much impact can this have with the puck? Viper as well. All the magical damage is here. And the target is going to be Gabby first. From the backlines, Gabby has been nullified.
Wow.
They're going for Whitemon next. Notice just fighting in this Macroplier. He's ignoring it. And Whitemon will also die. T1 loses 2, the most important one, of course, being Gabby, who will never buy that Radiance, Richie.
It hurts so much, right, because that's a lot of unreliable gold he's carrying. The way that gold is calculated, it's you lose a small percentage of that unreliable gold, which you get from farming creeps, because Sacred Relic is the most expensive singular item in the game. He does lose quite a bit of it.
True, what a stat. That is why the build-up for Reigns is such garbage.
It's so bad. That's what I mean. You do nothing for the first 20 minutes. I mean, he was 400 gold away from it. He was a little bit less. I think he loses quite a bit. I mean, it sucks. And now they're going to contest for Roche. There is a haunt, but without really any damage or anything. What can they do? Cuckoo might even be killed here. Oh, they're going to get him against the spear wall, and the relocate out could not save him in time. With a level 1 relocate, 3.5 seconds. Had it been level 2, he would have had a chance.
Io is going to be coming back here, and they're waiting for this. As the Roche falls, they give the Aegis to Viper, and you're going to be asking, why Viper? He's the offlaner. Why did I notice so much? It's because he's the one that can hit the tower for the shard. And they're thinking of high ground potentially now, honestly.
Yes.
If they continue with this aggression, they could reach high ground before the Aegis expires.
Yes, they will. And I apologize. I didn't mean to bring up the death recap there for Spectre, because I think that gank in particular really highlights how the early Veil on top of this poison attack app damage has absolutely torn through a Spectre. This is a Spectre with a max dispersion. She should be seemingly tankier.
Yeah. She also has no items because, once again, Radiance, right? But she has finally, or Gabby has finally managed to buy the relic.
It's on the way.
So now she has a little bit of damage. Still useless item, mind you. But,
and you know what? Dahawk he's got the full AC now.
Oh, they're going to find White Mon as well. In the trees he goes. Laurel says, let's commit to it. Dragon versus Wyvern.
Get him.
Who's the superior species? Apparently, the one who has more units.
The 3 flying boys. He got shot down by all of his wingmen there. Oh, and the haunts? Okay, this is a risky play, though, for Gabby. And he's going to be rewarded with a kill onto the illusions. No, he's not. Carl's going to have to chase into the trees now as Cuckoo is interrupted. He's going to have to use the roll-up and actually finds Laurel here. They have dispatched of the Wyvern in the trees. Could be a big fight, but notice has BKB. Oh, good Yule Scepter is going to reset this one at least for Carl, but coming down is no more pleasant than going up, as he will be finished off. Cuckoo with a big swashbuckle, but left with no one here to support him, is going to at least take one down before he goes. Zephyr is literally pinned against the wall by Laurel. Couldn't move. It's a 2 for 3, but BetBoom still come out on top.
BetBoom will now be pushing the lane down bottom, understanding that this fight, well, pretty good for T1 and a good idea in general, just did not work out for them. That turnaround, particularly by the BKB unnoticed, we're seeing this more and more, right? It's so common that we just save BKB for second life on Aegis users that people are abusing that idea and baiting them out with a clutch BKB. We saw that in the Split Earth, I believe, right? That's when he used it. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, he just says, no, thank you. And as well as the Rolling Thunder.
Yeah, Yo's was fantastic, but you were taking a really risky fight for T1, and the only option they had of winning that was honestly with a perfect execution.
Yeah.
It was a good idea, though. I won't fault them for doing that. They need to make plays, but BetBoom punished this aggression, this desperation really cleanly.
Yep, and you can just see the state of the game, right? I mean, they're not even aiming for Dahawk at that at all. They know we kill him once, so what? We got to use our spells on these guys, on these other guys that we can actually kill. It's kind of the best thing they could have hoped for, is even Force Major with a blink is going to avoid Cuckoo. Cuckoo also, again, he's got to go for that play, right? I'm not faulting him at all. Ends up basically getting kited out so far from any other hero by that BKB. I mean, it was just a really great fight for BetBoom. They're so good in the early, and now, the coil onto 2. They've also silenced Pango. They snap the coil as well. Zephyr inside the arena here is going to try and, well, just buy time, but it's not nearly enough, Havo.
It seems like Cuckoo is on the run now. Force Major, blink in 4 seconds. The spear is ready. They're committing to this. These guys know no fear, but Cuckoo's going to experience it now as he dies to that Witchblade. White Mon trying to TP away. Is there any way to cancel this? There isn't. So they'll have to settle for the tower, who can't TP away.
No, he can't, but he also can't live much longer here, especially now that the Hawk shows up with the AC Aura. That'll be taken down. And notice with Shard as well.
There we go. Familiars are ready, by the way. They did kill the Familiars in the last fight, which is, you know.
It's gold. That's a lot. 120 each or something.
Yeah, it's a pretty big amount. And on top of that, not having them for a fight, but losing them for the offlaner.
And now there's a Radiance. There is a Radiance.
And there's where the Aegis comes to play, Richie. They got the Shard and Viper plus their Aegis, which means free push.
Free push. Free push. Here that goes. It's they're not even getting. It's Dahawk in here for the aura. Not quite.
Nope. Yules, okay, noticed, is fine.
He is. Again, Gabby can TP in at a moment's notice, but Laurel's in first with the blink onto Zephyr. It's just a poke, though.
Haunt is ready, though, and as you said, Reigns is also available. Cuckoo goes in for Rolling Thunder. It's almost like a fake back smoke. Does the Haunt reveal it, and they go immediately for the puck. They're just kind of getting chaos in the middle of the fight. And the Spectre ends up settling to go for the Hawk. The Hawk will die first. Winter's Curse try to reset this, but it's not really working out for them. So Nako might need to retreat. They don't have Arena of Blood just yet. Force Major will die before he can get it off. Beautiful Iceman hits 2. And notice, might lose his Age. They're ignoring him. They want to go for his teammates instead. Gabby knows not to overcommit on this Viper. A TP from Notice. They got to cancel it with a kill, but unfortunately the damage is not high enough. Instead, Laurel will die solo to Cuckoo, who chased him to his death.
Yeah. I'd love to see a replay of that fight because I actually think even though this Wisp ends up dying, Zephyr makes kind of a team fight winning move here. I'll go ahead and comment on that, but an excellent fight from T1, just absolutely chaotic, but that's where T1 is going to do a lot of the work in their fights, right? Carl's able to just run around basically free, doing damage to everyone. Gabby's on whatever target he prefers, and we'll take a look at this one, Avo. Look at this Winter's Curse and look at Zephyr. Because he does what was probably one of the coolest moves I think I've seen a Wisp do in some, like, just a heads-up play. He sees, oh no, Laurel, oh no, just kidding, 100% damage resist.
Yeah, that was very clever. I like that as well. And since he got a tether going, he still had the healing going there.
Yeah,
I like that.
And that helps. That helps keep Carl alive, right? Because he gets his Yules off because that extra couple of seconds. That's a huge play.
Nice job.
Heads up play from Zephyr.
Yeah, heads up and hat-tipped Zephyr. That's what I'll say. Really well done. And of course, those 3 bracers really coming into play. This build that he went for, which is the, oh my god, we're so poor build.
It's oh my god, please help me. They're going to Winter's Curse me every single time.
Please don't kill me.
Gabby, please. Thank goodness Desolate does not work on allied units. Most passives
and Radiance
don't.
either, right?
Radiance doesn't either, thankfully.
That might be the also partial reason for Gabby going for this build, right? He might have considered it. Decided to go for a build that's more about the, AoE damage rather than the Orchid Axe, which definitely tries to take advantage of the Spectre's stats, right? And his attack damage itself.
So by the way, with the Familiars and AC Aura, this range barracks is at 0 armor, which is huge when heroes are sieging.
No, and Viper also.
Even less. They're going to get the melee barracks. So look at how fast they die.
-1, dude. And that poison attack will end up taking it down. They do try to deny it. That does nothing, but, it's style points.
It's style points, yeah. You can deny everything but your Ancients in the game. I've tried.
Yeah, I've tried.
There's some desperate games.
A surrender button,
Please come back. But here they go for Gabby, who does not have haunts for 5 more seconds, but does have at least freedom of movement. Spectral daggers ready, leashed up here. Gabby could be in for a tough time, but they lack more lockdown. And here's Zephyr here for another save. Notice inside the Roche pit, it's gonna have to go the other way around, but Force Major closes the door. They do stack the Winter's Curse here, and Zephyr is gonna be A-okay for now. In fact, gets to relocate away. To Hawk down bottom is killing Carl.
Yeah, he is. He's gonna be able to solo kill him, hopefully. But unfortunately, the Familiar's kind of low. To Hawk realizing there's no point in continuing this.
No, there's no point.
If there wasn't for that blunder, they would have killed him.
Yeah, 100%. And that would have been a massive, massive kill.
Yep.
As Hawk trying to get that solo kill there. The reason why his Familiars tank so much is because, of course, as long as he's within this aura, it matters. Okay, use my words. The Familiars get the current level of aura that Visage has.
Yes.
So he stands out of the AoE, and he keeps all his 4 stacks, which means his Familiars get 80% damage resist.
Exactly. Yep. The Gravekeeper's Cloak aura slash passive. And BetBoom. They are going to be reevaluating their strategies because I think T1 just read a couple of power spikes and they're no longer as weak as they used to be. Particularly the Axe Radiance on Spectre does make this much scarier. And these solo kills that the Hawk loves getting on Visage, much harder to do when Spectre can just go in and shadow step into any kill.
Yeah, no, very true. And this is the way, like you're saying, they get back in the game. Spectre is still a monster in the lake. It's just the first 20 minutes out of the problem. Right now, Cuckoo's having a bit of a problem. They're not in the roll-up can save
Gabby?
They're going to look for the +1 here. I don't know if they can quite get this, Avo.
Haunt used to create a bit of chaos once again. Just going between the illusions, and they pinged the right one, but he once again got away for a second. However, Gabby has been found out by this Viper. He didn't want to fight Force Major alone because he had Arena, and instead he found the jaws of a Viper, poisonous ones.
Even juked me with Force Major being a bit further from the rest of the team. Makes
I was
the jump
following
there
the pings,
back.
mate. That's what I was doing.
That's the right move to make. And again, without BKB, Spectre not really in love with buying a BKB. Doesn't love the optics. So much magic damage. It's all being amped against her. It is just pain. to be the Spectre this game, and paying for a tier 3, because there they go, minus 11 armor, yeehaw!
Yeah, this push is just too easy as well.
Oh my god.
Viper barely has to commit to this, man. He actually stands in the low ground. The poison attack might just take down this tower, doesn't even get the deny off.
They resummon the familiars, that's something at least, but they're now
Yeah.
level 3, so Dahak wanted to do that anyway, as there's the jump onto Carl.
Good Yules to at least prevent this initial spear, and if I had to get speared to a building, so no magical damage. Cuckoo thinks of the counter initiation,
That's
and
fine.
he goes for Force Major.
That's a support.
You'll be okay with losing this Mars. As BetBoom, they play it safe. They know what they got to do is just keep this push safe.
And again, BetBoom, they're just forcing the spells that could get T1 back in the game. That's not an opportune moment, but a prime moment for a Spectre to haunt. They're running away from us. We got one of their biggest counter initiators. That's when you want to haunt and create discord and make sure you can go for these freer kills for the Spectre, but finding her in the jungle, ganking her, and getting the kill after forcing haunt means Gabby's got no play to make.
Yeah. Gonna have T1 now with the smoke.
Laurel could be a catch.
They're trying to find a play to make. There is no haunt, but there is Shadow Step, so a quick kill could be possible, Richie.
Yeah, Carl's going to set up with the Yule Scepter, but he's going to be able to avoid it. Even Soneko now looking to turn. Only the right clicks here from Carl doing damage, but that might be enough with the Wyvern. They get the kill. He's got buyback there on the Wisp, and will use so, relocating back into the fight.
Yeah, and the puck is almost getting away. Ice Path nicks him, and that's going to be enough to finish him off. Laurel ends up dying here. It is, of course, an exchange for Zephyr, who also bought back for this, but BetBoom, will they buy back on their own puck? The shard is up on the Roche. It's actually a big deal as well.
This is the opportunity for T1 to stem the losses in this game. They've lost already, what, 2 melee barracks here. It's getting pretty bad.
They don't want to risk it because they know buyback's on the puck, and they just don't want to throw the game.
They'd like to wait for Haunt, which is up in 10 seconds. Maybe then they could look to make a play. At the very least, then Gabby it frees them up to farm elsewhere and Haunt back in.
Yes, I appreciate this patience by T1. They know this is, in my opinion, at least at TI, was the best team at analyzing resources. They're not going to make a blunder like that one. Now with a smoke, Haunt's available. Same play as before, but you got to be careful with positioning. First the wards go up.
Cuckoo's got BKB, by the way.
No, Shield Crash. There's the Rolling Thunder. They want to kill Force Major first. Can they get rid of the arena? They did. Force Major's down.
They want Soneko.
They want the supports for now, as Cuckoo creates chaos in the backlines. Going for Soneko next. Shield Crash does slow him. They need a bit more damage. Soneko will die before the Winter's Curse even up. But here comes the counter initiation from BetBoom.
That's a buyback.
Trying to kill him. The Hawk in the middle of the
Curse
fire.
is ready.
Turns into stone form. The Hawk save Cuckoo. Regrets going so hard on this gargoyle. Cuckoo is going to now find the real meaning of pain. The coil stops him. There's no BKB. Cuckoo's down. And his teammate Zephyr could be in trouble as well. The Hawk coming with a familiar. The stomp is not needed because the Laurel puck is too strong.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe they also get Gabby there. I mean, it's just these crazy fights. BetBoom, they experience a chaotic fight when they get repelled from Tier 3 bottom, and they were ready for it this time. I didn't quite catch the Spectre, but even T1, they had a TP back. They lose barracks in the middle of this fight. It's everything is going wrong for them. They dive so far, so deep. Yes, they get the Wyvern, but she just buys back, blinks in, still has Curse. The coil was so perfectly timed out. Right as BKB ends for Cuckoo, right as he's about to be relocated out, he's killed.
Roche was so fast.
I couldn't even say anything about it.
No, because it was so quick for BetBoom. The amount of minus armor is kind of ridiculous. And they gave Shard to Soneko, which means now Splinter Blast will spawn from Cold Embrace.
It's a funny one, but it's fairly good. It's fairly legit. Some teams are running Wyvern mid, I think, or something. Yeah.
Well, you know, Tundra. Yeah. And the biggest thing about this as well is that Cold Embrace cooldown gets reduced by 4 seconds. So that's gonna be
minus
huge.
16, 17. Oh, the tower's gone. Couldn't even get max stacks. This could be not quite megas, but pretty darn close, Avo.
Yep. It's gonna be at least a melee max, that's for sure.
Maybe even Carl.
They're committing for Carl instead. Dreamcoil's keeping him in place. It's just the Viper hitting him. Carl will be able to heal back up thanks to the item from behind. They do get the Splinter Earth off. Soneko's dead, but Carl died for this. Gabby now trying to hit the Hawk. Gabby gets sent back thanks to the God's Rebuke. Force Major's now his opponent. Force Major realizing he bit off a bit more than he could chew. He will have to die to Gabby here. As the Hawk, Stone Form ends right into the ice.
That's Megas!
They did get the Megas with the Familiars, but the Hawk will have to pay for it with his life for this. It's not a good trade for T1.
It's not.
But they got kills.
It's Megas so early. You got a Lesh, you got a Jakiro, but you're going to be... I mean, it's turtle time for them. It is not looking amazing.
All right, if Turtle could save Arkosh, Turtle could save T1. That's what we're seeing here. Can they beat BetBoom? Probably one of the best teams at choking you out. They're gonna need a miracle fight. But if there's a team to do this with, it's definitely a team with a Pango and a Spectre. Two of the best heroes at dealing with these late game fights.
And I mean, shout out to Kuku. He does God's work in this team fight.
Yes,
he is holding down Dahak. He's making sure that at least we don't lose the heroes right here, right now, because look at how much control he exerts, especially on the Dahak.
Yeah.
It's just life is pain for him here with the Rolling Thunder.
Shout out to the really well-timed Ice Path by Whitemon as well. That Jakiro has been on point, you know, really punishing that shard on the Visage, the Stone form that you get, which is essentially the same as Familiars, in case you guys are not familiar with the Visage, no pun intended.
Yeah, it's good. It's really strong actually, because you can still like turn and cast spells when you're falling down. It's really weird. I don't know if that's intended, but
is that really true?
Yeah, you can turn. Yeah, you can like cast Stone Form.
Okay.
You can self-cast Stone Form and then blink and then stun someone.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
That's dumb.
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't think that's intended at all.
Well, we'll see. Who knows, right? Laurel.
Okay.
Is continuing to heal. Shout out to that, by the way, Fogg, who is a madman and just testing all these things right.
Oh, he told you this.
Well, he was testing out this Visage. He's like, Visage is insane, and then he was like, can I do this, Gabby? He's gonna try and fight Force Major under a ward, avoids the spear, but incoming reload. Arena is erected. Laurel here as well, and they immediately just find Zephyr. They wanted more, but in comes Kuku. He's gonna hold him down. Could this be the fight that gets T1 back in the game?
Carl right now is actually managed to stay himself alive. He has finished off the Hawk almost solo at this point. Notice is also in trouble. Does manage to go to the low. But Gabby's waiting for him there, and that's going to be a kill unnoticed as well. I don't know if getting back into the game, but it's a start for sure.
It's a start. Megas, though, in the base. The waves, they may be small, but they hit hard here, especially this mid wave. So they still need to get back. They still have all the tier 2s
the
up.
statues, Richie.
This is the buffer buildings. And this is maybe a tier 4. These things, again, they hurt. And the worst part, I mean, obviously there's many bad parts about playing against Megas because it probably means you're losing the game, but the really bad part, Avo, is they give pretty much no bounties in both gold and XP.
Yeah.
This arena was great. The relocate, they stopped bringing the partner, which makes the Winter's Curse a little bit useless and allows Kuku to just get in for free. No curse? He's having a field day.
See, BKB picked up as next for Gabby, sorry. He definitely needs this. You need some sort of big items right now for them, and Wraithpact is the idea for Kuku. Let's see how this works out for them. I like the Wraithpact very much.
Kuku is a firm believer in the Wraithpact.
I approve.
And I approve of it as well this game. I think he's got a really good chance of making it shine this tournament. He's been building it to the one game he played Offlane Venge, swap in, damage resist.
Nice, I like
that.
Drop
Wraithpact, right? It does stack.
Bangle does the same thing, right? Because you roll in and do that.
Laurel.
Okay, yeah.
That's a hopeful kill. And there's the team smoked behind, and they've already dispatched of the Mars.
They have, but Zephyr might suffer the same fate as those Spectre Illusions gang up on a poor Io. That was not great for Io. That was a good curse.
They're looking for a tier 2, but the problem is against the Megas, you just have very little time to operate, don't you? Mid-wave already shoving hard. It's got wagons. You don't want this thing anywhere near your tier 4s, let alone your Ancients.
I mean, it's tough, right? T1 can only make so many plays, and their plays are essentially on a timer right now, because you get out of your base, 30, 40 seconds as a team, all right, waves are already there, right? And you got to TP someone, and if you TP someone back, you're most likely not taking a fight.
Good news, though, they're approaching level 25. Carl with BOTs, he's obviously going to go for the Edict Explosions, and that does give you a chance at really dramatically turning the tides of this game.
You sure he shouldn't go for Lightning Storm? Can bounce twice on units? What
I just think, back on the old Ags, that was really annoying and very good.
No, it was the slow back in the old Ags, remember?
Yeah, but
and then they changed it to this trash.
Yeah, well, the old Ags, which gave you just constant lightning storms around you, remember that?
And the talent was the slow. The talent was the lightning storm slows for 3 seconds.
But now that your Ags is no longer that, it's like, why bother? I mean, I'll take double damage on my explosions.
Mate, the old talent was actually kind of good even without the Ags. People discovered that. It's just this talent is garbage no matter what you fucking play.
First hero to hit 25, though, is Laurel himself. Obviously, he goes for the Dream Coil. Precious Magic Immunity, not Rapid Fire. That one is funny, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Pango. I mean, you kind of do want... Sometimes you want to go for the rapid fire, right, in the late game because you're like, I can't deal enough damage. But against Pango, that would be... Honestly, that would be griefing.
And this is unique, right? You do have Gabby who can... Oh, I think they're baiting, by the way, underneath this ward. They know that there was still a ward there, so everyone from BetBoom was just out of vision of it, hoping that maybe they shadow stepped in. And actually, they did, but just to say hello, because they immediately nuked the illusion.
What I do love is they know Mars is the primal target here, because his arena has actually been hugely impactful. Obviously, when the arena is on a support, you can throw it out much more freely, and Viper carries no team fight, really, just Nether Toxin. So I really like T1's... Once again, their team fights are always impeccable, and their spellcasting plus their objectives in the team fights are definitely the best. They're targeting, I guess.
And even though it is highly reduced bounties, that range creep giving 45 normally gives 57, right? Gabby is still going to be making the best of this space. He can sit back and farm waves and then just ult in whenever his team needs him. So he ain't the worst at defending against Megas in that regard.
Dahak is just on a mission to become anti-mage. He's got Pipe of Insight, now the BKB. He's just done with this magic thing. And he's hoping to not die in these fights, which is the best thing he can do, because the real damage is actually coming from Noticed and partially Laurel as well. Get an Arcane Rune for Laurel, that will certainly amplify this damage.
You know what the toughest part of this game is going to be then for T1, as we see BetBoom look for a pick-off. Well, yes, but contesting this third Roche, right?
Okay, sure.
Which might have Refresher for Force Major. That's quite the item. Ooh. Just saying hello. Whenever he sees Force Major, he's going to go ahead and say hi.
Yeah, it's really putting the fear of Spectre in Force Major, right?
Yeah.
Like, actually, you ever watched any of the horror movies where you get haunted by a ghost?
That's a real bold move against a puck, though, isn't it?
What? Oh, right, that doing that?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I
you
guess
got BKB, right? You'll be fine, probably, but...
Yeah, but it's like The Conjuring, right? Once they get the Ghostbusters in, they don't stop doing the haunting. They just up it.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, exactly. Now, wait till the trees start moving on their own. That's when things really, really get scary.
Indeed. It's you know, it's bad when it's not just one treant protector marching, but it's the last what is it, the march of all the treant protectors when they go to war versus the wizards in their towers.
The scariest part of any horror movie is truly when the small pot in the kitchen moves 5 centimeters. You're like, oh fuck, the ghost is really here the whole time.
I was referencing Lord of the Rings, but yes, indeed.
I know you were referencing Lord of the Rings.
Cuckoo up to 25 now. Rolling Thunder cooldown taken.
Okay.
Carl's just one creep away, essentially, and he'll have it.
Oh, Wind Waker's going to help a lot. Okay, so he's against the Wraith Pact?
Gabby as well. He's got 32% illusion. Sorry to cut you off.
Sorry, but he decided against the Wraith Pact on Cuckoo. He went for he's going for Wind Waker instead.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting as well.
I think he saw Puck, and you're like, I need to deal with this guy.
That's true. Yeah. Here they go.
Okay. Target is once again the supports.
It's a good one.
That's a great one. No more Winter's Curse for this fight, but they do have buyback, so could potentially still use it.
That's
There's a Haunt. Trying to go probably for Force Major. No, it's the Hawk. Apparently, he's just creating a little bit of chaos once again.
Cuckoo's
no clear
leashed.
targets. They're actually trying to go for Zephyr instead, and Zephyr in trouble, being chased down by the Familiars. Carl is now the target here, and the Hawk looks a bit scary. Use the Stormcaster first. Still preserves the Yule Scepter. Carl, what are you going to do? Soneko died a second time. Carl, being slowed, wants to kill off Notice, but Notice knows he deals more damage. Still connected BKB. Carl in the trees. Might be a bit too fast, but BKB ended, which means he's now vulnerable. Yule Scepter, he's wasting a bunch of time in this fight. He's waiting for reinforcements, but they're a bit late. Carl's already dead. Force Major used the arena to preserve some time for his team, and they got Gabby as he went back to his illusion. Gabby activates the BKB. He's back on the high gun. Cuckoo on his own BKB, fighting against Force Major. Can't get the kill even with the shard. That BKB wasted towards the end because of the Yules. Cuckoo's down. He has to buy back for this BetBoom. Are TPing just to get a bit of mana HP. Rose should be the next objective for them.
Yeah, creeps were starting to pour in the base. T1, I mean, a long fight. Oh my goodness, and Carl dead. He lives forever. Didn't have buyback in that fight. BetBoom, the way they chased him down, it's like they almost knew because they just haunted him. And here's Roche. This time we'll try and catch him before he dies. He doesn't even show the minus armor here, but he's got very little of it. And he is going to go down carrying an Aghanim's Scepter here. Aghanim's Blessing, pardon me.
Hawk? Yes. Let's go to Hawk. This is the final form of the Visage when he can go to invisible.
And just a wild fight. It's so hard to keep up. I apologize here with the Spectre. I followed the kill that was more crucial as without buyback there. Carl, I mean, T1, it's so hard for them to take a fight now. But Gabby does a great job, at least, at forcing out the Wyvern the second time and making sure that there was no curse in the fights. And we saw why, because the curse did come through, and it completely cancels Cuckoo.
Dream Coil once again. This Pango could be in trouble. He knows he can't get away because of the level 25 talent, but the Hawk might end up being the target. Did he use Shadow Step for this? Gabby does not want to overcommit. They got the puck. That's a huge Ice Path. Unfortunately, the damage is not as huge.
One tier 4's down, Avo. This thing is starting to get a little bit desperate. Good swashbuckle. Cuckoo's allowed to leave.
Cuckoo is and Force Major trying to leave his own
That's
arena.
BKB.
But
Gabi.
they put him in his home. They stuck it. Eats the cheese. Force Major
Oh,
just trying to delay this.
they're aim thrown.
They're going for throne. BKB's reactivate. The Hawk still preserves his. If they need notice, they'll wait their scars for a little bit more time.
Throne's going down.
The Throne's going down too quick. Richie, BetBoom just speed runs the ending of this game. And they'll take T1 down 2